What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube bonding experience. I'm your host, Ezio, and today, I mean like right now on this new episode of the Breakdown. No, I'm just playing. I bring you the new Pokemon release. I'm excited. I'm super excited. I have been playing online. So yeah, not the first one to see my gameplay with this Pokemon, Dragapult. It's a very fun Pokemon. It's a ranged attacker. So I'm gonna let you know right now on a little secret. If you play Cinderace and you played Dragonite, you're gonna really like this Pokemon because it's a combination of both. So as you can see, we're gonna go ahead and break. So basic attack. Each time this Pokemon deals damage to opposing Pokemon, its boosted basic attack gauge increases. When the boosted basic attack gauge is full, the Pokemon basic attack becomes boosted attacks. Boosted attacks deal increased damage and have an area effect centered opposing Pokemon they hit. The boosted basic attack gauge will begin decreasing if the Pokemon does not deal damage to opposing Pokemon for a set amount of time. So basically, it's kind of like your Cinderace's Cinder, where the more damage output that you put with your basic attack, the more damage output that you put. So it's very simple. Clear Body, reduce the duration of debuff effects inflicted on the Pokemon. So guess what? They don't want you to use Hindrance or the pink pack to, build your Hindrance relief. So in other words, they're automatically just adding it to this Pokemon. Do I agree on this? No. I wish that they would just given him a better passive. But hey, I mean, to each their own. I haven't noticed the benefit of this. So that's just me. That's just my opinion. They should have just used it for something else. Because I don't mind building into Hindrance. I kind of like it, prefer it. I mean, just look at my Urshifu build. Like, bruh, that dude is broken. Astonish has the user let out a sound blast in forward direction. The shout explodes when it hits an opposing Pokemon or after traveling a set distance, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon in the area of the effect and decreasing movement speed for a short time. This one's just good just for the sake of poking. Really, this Pokemon thrives off of like poking people and moving around, just poking people. Yeah, the damage dealing is great, but really you're a ADC. Basically ADC is just basically a Pokemon or a character that focuses on just doing melee damage on the enemy team and just killing them with your basic attacks. So then we have Dragon Breath. Has the user exhale a mighty gust in the designated direction, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon in the area effect and decreasing their movement speed for a short time. Once again, slows down the movement speed of the enemy Pokemon. That means that it gives you more time for you to actually catch up and, do more basic attack damage. The gust also leaves the ground burning for a set amount of time, and opposing Pokemon in this area of effect take damage over time and have their movement speed decrease for a short time. And this move is used while the user is flying. With Dragon Dance, the mighty gust is exhaled along Dragon Dance flight path, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon in the area effect and decreasing their movement speed for a short time. Upgrade deals increased damage to opposing Pokemon and further decrease their movement speed. So this is nice. Ideally, you want to use it in a combination with Dragon's Dance, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't like Dragon Dance. It's not ideal. And the reason why is because the way that Dragon Dance works is that the starting of the ability, that's the place that you're going to be coming back to. So you're going to make a full circle. So if the person that you're trying to get away from, you accidentally press it, they just have to wait for you to just come back. Now the thing is though, if you're fighting a ranged champion or ranged Pokemon, you're not good. You're in danger because they can auto target you and hit you while you're running or flying, whatever, and that's not ideal. Shadow Ball has a user hurl a Shadow Leaf blob in the designated direction, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon it touches and applying a mark to them. If the user attacks mark opposing Pokemon, it deals increased damage to them. The fourth time the user attacks mark opposing Pokemon, the mark is removed, but the damage dealt by the attack is further increased and the user recovers HP. After using this move, the user moves a short distance in designated direction. Upgrade increased the amount of base damage and additional dealt. So I'm gonna be honest, both of these abilities are very underwhelming, and I don't like either one of them. Really, I'm utilizing my basic attack at my maximum potential, so in theory you're gonna want to use Shadow Ball, but only in one sequence. The only sequence you ever want to use Shadow Ball is if you're running Drain Crown. That's the only time you really want to use it, because of the fact that, like it says, the fourth time the user attacks marked opposing Pokemon, the mark is removed, but the damage dealt by the attack is further increased and the user recovers HP. That's the only reason why you want to do that. Which, don't get me wrong, it's good. So we're going to go ahead and try it. Because the build that I'm running with my emblems is going to be ideal for that. And I'll show you what my emblems are right after this. So quick attack has the user move quickly in the designated direction, increasing its basic attack speed for a short time, which is super awesome. It's super good early game. Of course, you're super squishy, but once again, your range is really optimal for the sake of just, it's just really good for you. And your whole build. Dragon Dance has the user fly in a circular pattern in the designated direction. Once again, I hate it. I don't like it. I say toss it. While the user is flying, it continuously deals damage to nearby opposing Pokemon with basic attacks that deal less damage but have increased attack speed. And it feels like a machine gun essentially. It's really fun to utilize this Pokemon, but I'm gonna be quite frank, like I said, it's not really ideal. This Pokemon is used again while the user is flying. The user stops flying and moves a short distance in the designated direction. If the user knocks out a Pokemon on the opposing team, this move's cooldown is reset. If the opposing team, this move cooldown is reset. Okay, I read that. If the user assists in knocking out a Pokemon on the opposing team, this move cooldown is reduced. When this move is used, Dragon Breath cooldown is reset. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest. Like, once again, the resetting is great only if you're dealing with melee-based combatants. So basically, meaning anybody who has to be up close and personal hitting you. That's the only individuals you really want to fight and using Dragon Dance. If you are going up against range Pokemon, you don't want to run with this. You do not want to use this. You're really just trolling at that point. Then Phantom Force, for a short time, increase the user's movement speed and has its enter stealth. While the user is in stealth, the boosted basic attack gauge is increased. This is awesome. When stealth ends, the user basic attack speed is increased for a short time. After this move is learned, if the user knocks out a Pokemon from the opposing team, this move's cooldown is reset and the user attack is increased until the end of the battle. This attack increase effects can stack. Upgrades also reduce this move's cooldown when the user deals damage to opposing Pokemon with a basic attack. I personally like this one a lot. I like the whole going into stealth mode. You already know how I feel about Sableye, and if you don't know, well, now you know. Go check the video out. Go check out the little small montage slash just a video where it's a short video of me playing Sableye and getting super emotional. I really enjoyed that Pokemon a lot, and if you stick to the very end, I think you will find it very amusing. Now, with the Unite move, Dreep and Destroy has the user launch 2 Dreepy and each deals damage to a different opposing Pokemon in the area of effect. The lower the opposing Pokemon remaining HP is, the more damage the Dreepy deal. If there is only one opposing Pokemon in the area of effect, both Dreepy will target that Pokemon and deal damage to it. A maximum of 2 users can be kept in the reserve for this move. So from what I've noticed, you have to double press it in order to activate both of them. It's not just one. It's not just one time. It's literally both times. Like, you have to literally press it. So this is good for if somebody's trying to run away from you. It literally will follow them to the end of existence. Here we have Muscle Band. When basic attacks hit, the damage is increased by 3% of the opposing Pokemon's remaining HP, which is great. Which is not bad, but I'm thinking I might be changing it here shortly. Scope Lens increases the damage of basic attack critical hits. The higher the Pokemon attack, the more damage is increased. Rapid Fire Scarf, increase your Pokemon basic attack speed by 30% for a short time after 3 basic attacks. That's awesome. So I'm thinking I'm gonna get rid of scope lens here. When basic attacks hit, the damage is increased by 3% of the opposing Pokemon's remaining HP. So remaining, meaning that this is an assassination item. So let's go ahead and swap this out. Let's see, where is my Drain Crown? You restore HP equal to 10% of damage though with basic attacks. Boom. I don't think I need to explain further. Now I'm going to show you the Pokemon Boost emblems that I made for this specific Pokemon. Take a look. Have you taken a look already? Great. Now let me explain. Let me explain myself, okay? Well, Papa, it's not ideal. Okay, great. It's good to know how you feel, but this is the way that I feel about this Pokemon. So Cinderace is great at kiting people. But the only problem with Cinderace is that he doesn't really have anything that allows him to move around and dodge and evade so much except feint. But after you use your feint and after you use your ultimate, what are you left with? Absolutely nothing. So you're gonna worry about your movement speed, and it's ideal because of the movements, the attack speed of this Pokemon. I feel like it's a little bit faster. It's not as sluggish as Cinderace, so that's always a plus. So you're gonna the name of the build, the emblem build is Kite. So as you can see, attack is getting a plus 8.4, and then the movement speed is getting a plus 28. So you want a little bit of movement speed. He feels good as is base. So now having plus 28, that's awesome. Now here, plus 4% movement speed when out of combat. What does that mean? That means when you're out of combat and you're trying to get away from your the person that's trying to kill you, you're gonna be able to outspeed that Pokemon. Not only that, if you're not hitting the Pokemon and you're chasing them down, you're gonna have an increased movement speed. So let's say, for example, you're trying to position yourself in a better situation because your team fight just broke out, then you can place yourself in a better spot. That 4% would help out a lot. And then you have your plus 2 basic attack speed, which is awesome because, well, machine gun Pokemon. This guy really drives off of his basic attacks. Plus 1 attack just for the sake of being able to do a little bit more damage. I've noticed that this Pokemon is fun when you have 800 crit damage, which I have other builds for this Pokemon, which is great. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like this might be the way to go. You're really just trying to irritate the enemy. You're not gonna snowball to the point where you can like 1v1 anyone. Yeah, you can out damage another Dragapult. Yeah, you can do all of that. But at the end of the day, your whole purpose in the game is to basically poke down the Pokemon and help your teammates. So kind of like a support, really. Opposite direction. Don't.
Like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. A heart so true, our courage will pull us through. I will battle every day to